What's going on, everybody? This is episode 798 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And the last episode I did was May 12th. And that was kind of like the end of, the football season, the off season, all this other stuff was going on. And I wanted to take a break over the summer. And now we're back. These episodes come out pretty much every Sunday night, Monday morning. You can catch these episodes on YouTube. You can find them on Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even on YouTube Podcasts. You can check them out on all those avenues. If you want to catch any of the past episodes of pretty much last season, or you want to watch or listen to the episodes this upcoming season, this is where it's going to be. So I want to thank everybody who's been supporting, even throughout the downtime where I was just taking a break, making videos here and there on the YouTube side of things. And I'll continue to do that. And hopefully you guys will tune in. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Spotify or subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Rumble, I'm also over there as well. If you would prefer to listen or watch over there, you can watch and subscribe over there as well. Really would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Today, we're going to talk about Georgia Southern versus Boise State. Boise State is coming down to Paulson Stadium to play Georgia Southern, and we have a lot to unpack on this because this is going to be the trendsetter for the upcoming season. What Georgia Southern is going to be able to do. There's no more excuses when it comes to Coach Clay Helton. Not to say that he had any, but we kind of understood how things were the first 2 years. We brought in a quarterback that you thought that could lead your offense with Brian Ellis at the helm as offensive coordinator. You brought Kyle Van Treesen. We saw a little bit of success, but not enough. You also saw Davis Brin come in the second year, little bit of success, but not enough. This year, your quarterback has been picked. That is someone that's not transferred in, somebody who's been in the system, somebody who knows not only Brian Ellis's system, he also knows Ryan Applin's system, which is the new offensive coordinator, and that goes by QB1 J.C. French. So J.C. French is going to be taking the helm of this offense going into the season. See how that plays out. Very talented quarterback, transferred from Memphis a couple of years ago. I think he is pretty much, he paid his dues. And, some people may think we have more talented quarterbacks on the team. Davis Dallas, I think he's number 2. You also have Dexter Williams there as well. My personal favorite, Colton Fitzgerald, which I didn't know that he was injured. And and that was kind of, sucked. I didn't know that. But that was my personal favorite. But nevertheless, J.C. French is going to be at the helm when we play Boise State. What is the big deal with Boise State coming into Paulson State in the play? Now, well, first and foremost, the spotlight is going to be on their running back. The running back, what's his name? Ashon Jeanty, possibly the best running back in the country, is going to be coming into Georgia Southern. So the best way that we need to get up in front of this team and stop them, we're going to have to stop this one-man wrecking crew in Boise State. The rest of the team is somewhat talented, but not too many analysts are giving them that much of an edge when it comes to their team as a whole, not just against Georgia Southern. You also have the defense is not necessarily ranked very high. They lost some players. They did get a quarterback from USC, a highly touted quarterback from USC that was, projected to be the starter. But for some reason, the coach named the redshirt sophomore quarterback Maddox Madsen, which is, not necessarily anything to overlook because you got to understand, anybody who's on that field could beat you at any moment, no matter how things play out. So you still got to be on your P's and Q's. Mark Madsen is somewhat known as a dual threat as well. So if you want to think that he's just going to be a guy that's going to stand back there and throw the ball around, no, he can run a little bit. So this defense, this front seven, which I really like for Georgia Southern, I think Georgia Southern's going to do pretty good when it comes to actually trying to get some pressure on the quarterback if they do decide to pass and make some things happen. Also, our secondary is actually pretty decent as well. You got Mark Stampley back there. You still have TJ Smith. You got some guys out there, Tyrell Davis. I think Cam Williams is still on the team. Please correct me if I'm wrong because I cannot remember. I think he is. But you got some guys that can play some defense on that on that side of the ball. You still got Marquise Watson-Trent, who was an excellent player last year, and you got some others, Latrell Bullock, guys who can stuff up that front four. And the main thing is you would want to get some pressure up the middle, or you could just want to be able to just stop the run and make them one-dimensional. Because once you do that, I think J.C. French and the offense that Georgia Southern possesses can actually make some things happen. Their secondary is not touted as a very good, a very good secondary. And with all the weapons that we have on the outside, the Derwin Burgess of the world, the LV Shelton, Bunkley Shelton, I think I said that right. Dalen Cobbs of the world, Sam Kennerson is coming back. You still got from the tight end transfer from Auburn. You got a lot of guys coming in who can spread this defense out and possibly make some plays. Now, with a guy with an arm talent like J.C. French, want to see him be able to distribute the ball well and open up this defense. And once you open up defense, that's when you could possibly hand the ball off to a Jalen Green, or that's a Jalen Green. Oh my God, I'm thinking about Gerald Green. Sorry, Gerald Green don't play for Georgia Southern anymore. Jalen White or OJ Arnold, which I think if you go in this game with the same mindset you did against Nebraska, I think you're going to be fine. And Cal Vantrease had the game-winning touchdown run, which is not very that athletic as far as running, but J.C. French do have a little bit of wheels on him. So if you can have it to the point where you can open up a 4, maybe in some cases a 3 wide receiver set and spread out this defense and try to run the ball, where, like I said, Boise State defense is not necessarily the best. I mean, their 2023 numbers don't show much of anything. They allowed 6.1 yards per play, which was 100 in all of the FBS. The success rate was 34.4, which is 62nd, and also explosive pass rate allowed was 15.6, which is 103rd overall in 2023. Now, their defense, I think they got like 8 guys coming back from the defense. So the defense is pretty much going to be the same, and you're going to have to be really or you got to be on your P's and Q's if you just want to exploit this defense and actually make some plays. Now, the offense of Boise State, now, like I said, they can run the ball pretty well. I mean, they were 37th in explosive run plays. Man, they were, their successful rate of play was 18th in the country at 39.3. Yards per play is 6.5, which was tied for 16th. Look, the defense of Georgia Southern going to have to find a way to stop what this team can do. Their running back, like I said, their running back, Gentry, Genty, he's the guy that you got to worry about. He's going to be the guy that you're going to have to worry about overall. And if you can stop that and try to get a situation where they're forced to pass, I don't think they can go toe-to-toe with the offense that we can run in the passing game. The main thing is, and I said this last year, and this just reigns true, J.C. French just needs to find a way to not turn the ball over. Now, I don't think he's a turnover machine. We had one last year. No disrespect to Davis Brin, but my God, the turnovers was ridiculous. Between him and Desmond Ridder, if you're a Falcons fan like I am, you would know that we had a real big problem at quarterback. Now it looks like it's been corrected with the Falcons. It may have been corrected with Georgia Southern. I do trust J.C. French because I'm not thinking that he's a bad quarterback by no means. I think he's very talented. But, you want him to live up to that hype, or you want to live up to the expectations that we all have. Limit the turnovers, put the ball in the hands of the receivers, and make these guys run a marathon with you and keep up with the passing game and keep up with the points. Not necessarily saying that it can happen, that it can't happen, but Boise State running the ball over and over again could wear down the defense. But if we can go out and score on offense, I don't think a running game could beat a passing game in a high-scoring game. So if we're able to put up 30-something points, even though they may run the ball very well, at some point they're going to have to put the ball in the air if we're efficient in the passing game. They're going to have to try to find a way to keep up. Like I said, they can run the ball or whatever the case may be, but if we're constantly putting up 7, we put those up pretty much every drive, or 6 out of 7 drives, or 7 out of 8 drives. I don't think that Boise State can beat Georgia Southern just on the ground. So whatever Madison has to do to throw the ball around, that's going to be their bread and butter to actually try to compete with Georgia Southern. That's just my take. Like I said, the best running back in the country is possibly the best running back in the country is coming into Paulson Stadium. You find a way to bottle him up, or you can let him get his numbers. Just don't let anybody else beat you. You have a fighting chance. But if you can bottle him up, you possibly could just go ahead and outright win this game. Now, me as a Georgia Southern fan, that's just definitely the way I feel. I'm absolutely biased, but I am honest with the assessment that I know what my team is capable of. Georgia Southern has to tackle better. Georgia Southern is going to have to cover if they do decide to pass the ball. Georgia Southern is going to actually have to be efficient if they do get in the passing game and put up points. Honestly, if Jalen White can actually get off as well and actually run the ball against this defense of Boise State, Boise State's going to really have some problems, because what's going to happen at that point with the balanced attack that we may be putting up, like I said in a previous video in the last scrimmage, it was more of a balanced attack. If they could get a balanced attack against Boise State, that could keep Genty and the rest of that Boise offense on the sideline, where they're just going to be sitting there waiting. So it could be the foot race if we're just going to throw the ball all over the place against this secondary, or if Jalen White and OJ Arnold can actually run the ball as well, we can get some, we can get some consistency or with a balanced attack, and then we'll have a situation where we can lead 13, 14, 16, play drives where the running game really is not going to be that efficient, even if they have to, even if they're just one-dimensional and can run the ball. Because at some point, they're going to have to find a way to mix it up, because you can't be one-dimensional, especially if you're going to try your best to keep our defense or keep our offense on the sideline, and if we know what the running game is going to be like. Now, there's no doubt in my mind, I think Gentry could go off on the Georgia Southern Eagles. Like I said, we've been having issues with stopping the run for the past, couple of years. Now, we had some success against lower tier opponents, but you got the best running back possibly in the country. It's coming into this, coming into Paulson Stadium. So the power of Paulson selling out this crowd, selling out the stadium is a must, or just having a big, presence, overbearing presence over the Boise State team as we go out and play. And we do that. We basically execute the way that we want to execute. We should be fine. So that's pretty much my take with this game. Early, some things could change. We're going to talk about some things as the game get closer later on this week. And we're going to talk about some X's and O's when it comes to matchups, some receivers versus some guys in the secondary, what Marquise Watson, Trent, and the front seven could do against Genty and other players, what Madsen could do, what J.C. French could do. We haven't even talked about Derwin Burgess, the receivers and the other receivers that are out there, what they can do against this Boise State secondary, which, like I said, this secondary is not that good. They've given up a lot of plays, and they're in the bottom half of the FBS giving up plays. That was last year, and I think, like I said, their defense, I think they got like 7 to 10 starters, maybe 8 starters returning or something like that. I could be wrong, but I think so. But when you have the running game like this, they could probably keep our offense on the sideline. So at the end of the day, we need to do what we have to do to stop this running back. Because if we don't stop him, it's going to be really, really interesting. It could be a long day for Georgia Southern. But let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this team is capable of coming into Paulson and beating us? Or you think Georgia Southern is going to start 1-0 and start rolling into a successful season? I would love to see 7 to 10 wins for Georgia Southern, get a bowl game and possibly a bowl win. But 7, and I know that's not very popular to other people, but I think 7 wins is the floor. We need to be higher than that. Some people would like to see 8. We only had 6 last year. So some people may not be happy with 7. But I think if you improve and get 7 wins and win a bowl game, at the end of the day, it's not much you can ask for. Some people are shooting as high as winning the Sun Belt. Some analysts don't feel like that way, but Georgia Southern Eagle fans, we want a title every time we go out there and play every season. So let me know what you guys think. I can be found on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even YouTube Podcasts. You can find me there. Take the time, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to any of the podcast platforms, and I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, also, I will be doing videos throughout the week on my YouTube channel and some on Rumble as well. But the podcast is weekly, every Monday, Sunday night, around that area. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get up out of here. All right, y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.